presentation in the chat so you can follow along. Today we're going to be going over the basics of Active Directory, which is something that you'll find. Wait, I should probably share my screen. Okay, so today we'll be going over Active Directory, which is something that you'll find on Windows Server machines. Active Directory is a Windows Server directory service that allows you to manage different things in your server. And it contains information on the different users and computers in your network, different permissions that each user has, and the details for each user, such as passwords and other information. Okay, so how the Active Directory is structured is there are like three general components to it. You have domains, which is like a small group of computers, users, and other objects. So such as users, computers, applications, printers, and shared folders. And it's basically a group that is managed under one person. There are also these things called organizational units in these domains, which are used to organize the various objects that I just listed. Tree is just multiple domains that are connected, and they are the reason why we have trees is that they are grouped under like one security policy. Lastly, we have what we call a forest, which is just a bunch of trees together. Okay, so how to manage your Active Directory is first you have to create a domain to store all the Active Directory objects. So you should, I'll show you how to do that later. You should create these organizational units to group to different objects and organize them. When you're managing your Active Directory, you should track all the accounts in it and look for suspicious activity. And you should also back up your Active Directory. So the two tools we'll cover today are Group Policy Management and Active Directory users and computers. So I'll show you how to install these. Okay. So the first one is going to be Active Directory domain services. So you have to go open up Server Manager. Go to Quick Start, add roles and features, and then get over to Server Roles. You should check Active Directory domain services. This will let you open up DSA.MSC. And the second thing we want is going to be Group Policy Management. This is usually already installed, but if it isn't, you should install it under the Features tab. So after you select them, you should just keep going through the processes and then wait until it downloads. Okay, so I'll be demonstrating some stuff on my server virtual machine today, and if you want to like test out your own domain, it's on the slideshow. So there's this website that you should follow in order to create your own domain. Okay. So the first thing is going to be gpmc.msc. So to run this, you should press Windows R and then gpmc.msc. and it's going to look something like this. So I created my own domain. It's just called domain.com, but typically during the competition, they'll give you one. And it's organized this way. There's a bunch of tabs here. So this application lets you look at the different group policy objects and the organizational units, domains, and sites under your domain. And you can also configure the group policy objects here. So if we select this, you can see under settings, there are a bunch of different security settings you can change. These are pretty similar, or they are just the ones that you can find under GPEdit, but they apply to the domain itself. So to change it, you just go here and then you can edit it. So you should check all of these security policies over and make sure that everything is configured properly. You can also change the permissions of like the people who can change these settings under the delegation tab. And to do that, you just right click on whatever you want to change and go to properties. There's a bunch of different settings here that you can configure. You can also go to advanced. And this will be pretty similar to the file permissions tab. So if you want to change settings, you should click on the user and then check or uncheck whatever you want. Okay. So next is going to be DSA.MSC. So again, press Windows R. And this just allows you to see all the users and computers in your domain. So if I want to add another user, you can right click and then go to new. And there's a bunch of different things you can add. So if you want to add a user, and you can fill out all of these things to create a new user. You can also go to properties, and this will look like the same thing as in the GPMC thing. And there's a bunch of different settings here. Okay. So this is just an introduction to show you like what Active Directory is. On the slideshow, there's a link with some best practices. So if you want to learn how to configure it, you can go through that. Ryan, if you want to add anything.
So did you reach like the end? Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, let's see. Why don't you